Here's Brody Brazil.
I figure all I had to do to get your attention was say the words free food. And if you're a fan of Coastal Carolina and their college football team of the Sun Belt Conference, you will be getting free food with your purchase of a ticket for this upcoming football season. Now, the items are on your screen. They're kind of limited. I also can't promise that the nachos are going to look that good. I think the buckets of popcorn might be a little bit bigger than that. And I don't know if the hot dogs come with all those toppings. But the point is, food comes with the price of a ticket for Coastal Carolina fans. By the way, small college, cool little stadium. They've gone to some bowl games. This seems like a program that even somebody like me on the total opposite coast could get behind. They're a little bit of the underdogs, and they've got a cool thing going. But for Coastal Carolina football in 2025, they have 6 home games. Fans can get 4 items free per concession visit. Those are hot dogs, popcorn, nachos, and soda. But the thing is, you can make unlimited visits to the concession stands, which are all pre-tracked and taken care of through the athletic department's app. I don't know that they have fully released that yet, but they will have an app on your phone. Hey, I'm going to get snacks. I picked it up, scan a QR code, whatever. But 4 free items per visit, so you can't come back with 2 hands full, right? Only 4 items per visit, but you get to make unlimited visits. And maybe they time it out so that they don't get bombarded at halftime with fans trying to get all this free food. So that's how it's going at Coastal Carolina. So I know what you're thinking. Well, did they bump the tickets up or they double the price? According to an article in The Athletic, some tickets will be more expensive, but much of the prices will remain the same. They've built this in somehow, some way, and I guess there is a limit on how much food and beverage everybody's going to consume, right? Like your limit is the size of your stomach. It's like a buffet. Some people go so hard on round 1 of the buffet that they're done. They're tapped out, and you paid all that money for a buffet that should have been 5 plates. You could only handle 1 because you went so hard on plate number 1. Anyway, I digress. Ask me how I know. It's unclear if this is for all the tickets purchased for Coastal Carolina games or if these are special tickets. Like, that part wasn't clear to me. Does this mean everybody in the stands gets this perk, or is it only certain tickets, certain sections? I guess that is to be determined. They just announced this. And by the way, if you still want to go get some pizza, get a beer, get something else, all of those normal food and beverage items are still going to be for sale, just separate. This is kind of the list of the free stuff, those 4 things: the nachos, the soda, the popcorn, and the hot dogs, which are the probably 4 things to be expected. So in terms of where they play, it's Brooks Stadium, which was renovated in 2019, has a capacity of 21,000. And yes, they do play on a teal field, home of the Chanticleers. That is a teal artificial turf surface. Okay. It's just interesting because it's so close to green. It's not like Boise State where it's blue and it's definitely not green. Like, this is teal. It almost looks like it got faded somehow. It's just not the green you would expect. But anyway, still what looks to be a cool stadium environment in kind of a small town. 21,000 seems pretty intimate for a college football game. And again, I know they renovated it. I think the stadium in total is only about 20 years old, but they fixed it up to kind of make it even better only a handful of years ago. And attendance-wise, like, that's why they're doing this, and we'll discuss that in a second. In Conway, South Carolina, they've been getting, 15, 17, 18,622 on average last year. And they actually, for the first time in a while, had a losing record. Back in 2021, they were drawing 15,000 plus. They were 11-2 that year, then 9-4, then 8-5, then 6-7. So they obviously want to turn the football program around. You can kind of see attendance-wise that's going in the right direction. They're still not full. They've got room for more, but they also probably want to make their college football team win more games because winning fixes everything. But they're not far off on attendance. So why are they doing this? Here's the brand new athletic director, Chance Miller, and what he told The Athletic. Quote, "We're always looking for ways to elevate fans' game day experience. We're excited to offer free concessions this fall as a way to say thank you for the energy, passion, and support they bring to Brooks Stadium every game." So it sounds to me like this is for every ticket purchased. Quote, "This is one thing we can offer back to fans that show up every weekend when there are a million other options for things for people to go do with their families." And that's something that you'd have to think a small college football program really competes with, right? You're by the ocean, you're by the Atlantic, you're by the beach. There's a lot of other things families could do besides go to a college football game. And they only have, 6 games a year, so it's not that frequent of a thing. But the point is, they are competing with a lot of other options. And so they have to make themselves a little bit more attractive. And this as part of publicity, this is part of something that families might take advantage of. This is something that can go their way. Quote, people might think the lines will be packed, in concession stands for food, but you avoid the time lost paying for it and ringing it up. You save the time, and it's a grab-and-go type feel. And I suppose that might be the case. I still do think the 10 minutes before kickoff and pretty much all of halftime is going to be quite the show at all the concession stands. But again, it's only a 21,000-seat stadium. We'll see how this goes. I guess they're going to find out how this goes. But I do understand that it's not typically what you'd expect. You wait, somebody's credit card gets processed, you're standing in line. It probably should be, hey, here's the app, grab your 4 things, you're out of here, and kind of keep the line moving. Here are my takeaways. Number 1, for Coastal Carolina, this is a great novelty. This is a great way to capture attention. I mean, look at even some YouTuber out in California is making a video on Coastal Carolina football. It's obviously for marketing. It's obviously for promotion and publicity. Will they do this forever? Probably not. But here they are now. They're trying to make a statement. They're trying to get 21,000 for all their home games. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is trendy in sports. We've seen major league teams and professional teams do this. The Phoenix Suns have a value menu. The Orioles have like a Birdland something menu, and it's $2 and $3 items. It's not for free, right? So this is crossing a new boundary, being flat out free. But this is kind of the trendy thing in sports to say, all right, we will take care of a couple different concession items. We're really going to limit it here, but it's all at low cost, or in this case, no cost, to entice you to come to the stadium. Now, if you think about it, if you're just selling more tickets based on people utilizing that free food, in the end, it's probably a net plus, right? It's not a net loss, you'd have to think, by doing this if you sell more tickets. But I also want to say that if you're expecting to come in and get these prime food items, again, you can imagine that the nachos are of the gas station variety, right? It's not going to have all the bells and whistles and toppings on it. And the hot dog is probably going to be about as entry level as a hot dog gets. These are you get what you pay for type items. And I do imagine that the popcorn buckets are going to be relatively small. And the soda, however it's dispensed, is probably going to be in smaller portions too. You get what you pay for type items and situations, but it's free, so know what you're going to get before you walk in the door. And I'll say this, I can appreciate the options and friendly prices. The only thing I've ever said about this is I wish there were some more nutritious options and items, and I'm saying, like, could you throw in some apples in there, or some oranges, or a peach or two? I don't know, anything more nutritious than just popcorn, nachos, and hot dogs. I get it. It's a sports game, but I can appreciate the fact that there are some options and that they come at friendly prices. And I do think for anybody that's on the edge of going to a game, or I don't want to spend that money, this might open the doors to some people who otherwise maybe just couldn't afford the whole thing. So I do appreciate that. Free food for fans of Coastal Carolina. You know I'm a big fan of Teal. For hockey, maybe this could be my Teal college football team. Let's see how much free food everybody's going to eat out there this season. That's the end of this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, thumbs up while you're down there. Greatly helps me, this video, and this channel. And one more thing, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the button down below so I can definitely see you back here next time.